Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Good to talk to all of you again today. And today we're playing with a hypothetical whaling scenario, like truly whaling type scenario. Except this whale might have been, let's say, a little bit inactive somewhere along the line, maybe missed out on, a couple of ships here and there. But overall, a whale. Basically, someone who's gotten just about every single premium ship ever to exist, minus a couple. Okay, so we're just going to play with that hypothetical scenario. So, again, I'm not on a personal account. This is entirely a press account. It's owned by Wargaming. It's not mine. This is just an experiment, right? So, yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to be that ultra whale, and I'm just going to say, you know what, I'm going to go and buy 1,000 containers just for whatever reason, like just because I'm a whale and I've got money to spend on crazy things, because what the end result is going to be kind of nuts, right? So I've got a bunch of missing like tier 8 and 9 ships. That's fine, right? Assume that I'm that whale that, missed a couple things. Maybe I was away or something. So I'm going to go buy 1,000 containers. Now, how much is 1,000 containers? Well, at the current cost for these big gift containers, 1,000 of them is going to cost you 672,500 doubloons, which if you convert it into a dollar figure is $2,690. So, just shy of $2,700, which is not a small amount of money, right? That's the equivalent of taking your family on vacation, depending on, when you go. That's the equivalent of, buying yourself a really, really nice computer. That's the equivalent of paying rent in some places for, depending on which city, obviously, maybe a couple months, maybe 1 month if you're in a really fancy city, or maybe half a month if you're in like a really, really, really stupidly expensive city, right? Yeah, right. It's quite a good chunk of change, and in World of Warships, that leads to some really interesting places. I'm just gonna assume that nobody's actually gonna be crazy enough to try this, because this is actually a huge amount of money and it's kind of insane to even do this. But experimental purposes is experimental purposes, right? And we'll see what the results are. So here we go. I think I've bought 1,000 containers. Yep, 1,000 containers. There we go. As you can see from my tier 8 and 9 ships, I'm missing like Palmer and Georgia and Tirpitz. I'm missing a couple of things, right? I'm missing a couple of Roma, whatever. I'm missing a bunch of ships. All right, so this is what happens when I go ahead and then open those 1,000 containers. Now, I'm not going to open them one by one. I'm going to open all of them at once. The way these containers work is that they are all predetermined. So whenever you buy 100 containers or whatever, they're all predetermined based on what you don't have at that time when you bought them. They don't really check the other 100 containers to see if there's any kind of like duplication or whatnot. So interesting things begin to happen. So the first one, there was a bit of a glitch. I only opened a couple, like 175 of them, and you can already see that I got a bunch of ships. But I also got a bunch of dupes, which, ended up giving me like 30,000 extra doubloons or whatever. Okay, but here's what happens when I open the remaining 825. And yeah, World of Warships is teaching some interesting life lessons today. If you have kids, whoever are wondering or ever have a time when they come up to you and they ask you like, how come the people who are those people in the billionaire class are just getting richer and richer and richer, this is probably a good explanation, because if you could afford this, this is actually what happens. The game recognizes that you don't have a lot of stuff, and it starts to duplicate those things that you don't have. And assuming that the things you don't have are like the valuable stuff at tier 8 and 9, you get multiple copies of those ships. What does that mean, you ask? Well, aside from the ships, you also get a ton of premium time and doubloons and coal and camos. But out of the 672,500 I spent, yeah, if you look at the bottom right corner there, that's right. You're actually in the positive. You actually gain more doubloons than you spent, but that's only after you put in like, $2,690. Anyways, yeah, kids, world of capitalism. Hope you enjoyed it, folks. Take care. Have a good one. I'll talk to all of you again next time.